when we are giving for an interview point of view, I would suggest to be very open about asking multiple questions to your interviewer before going into a very detailed discussions on what answers you need to provide in. Take your time, sit back, relax. Pausing sometimes is not a problem, because I see this as one of the challenge in any kind of a product manager interview. At Meesho, I own the product areas which are core data products. I own the search part of Meesho along with ranking of the products, and some of the other modalities of search might be like the image search and the voice search of so these are the things which I currently work upon at Meesho. My journey at Meesho is of 3 years. In 3 years I have been at 3 designations. So one of the things that I core always believe on is go work on your negatives, try improving them so that you will be at your next level as soon as possible. Take the things at heart, work hard on improving the things, and I think Meesho has one of the best entire performance management cycles, where you will be very clear about your drawbacks and how you can improve them. It would be more on performance driven. So in the performance itself, you need to show some certain skills when you want to enter into a PM1 or a PM2 kind of a position. Prior to going into that kind of a position, you need to show that expertise, you need to show that skills, everything. So not an exclusive interview process, but your work, day on day work itself will enable you to understand where you are standing for the other role. One of the core values for any kind of a product manager, right? It should be like you need to be more user driven. You need to understand the core problems what your users are facing, and I think that's one. And I think the other one would be more from the problem mindset, right? You need to start thinking about the problems rather than jumping into the solutions in the first phase. The more and more you are problem first, right, you end up being a better and better PM always. The solutions will fall in place later on. But I think broadly, I think see these two as main big things when I look for any kind of a candidature who are looking for a product manager kind of a role. It would be fairly very much similar to what other big product based companies does. It would start with testing your skills out, your technical expertise, your product expertise, etc., the way you do your case studies, and then probably we'll have a couple of rounds on the behavioral fit and also your stakeholder managements, right, where you will be testing on all these 4 or 5 different areas which are very typical. But what I think Meesho stands apart is the depth of questioning. So at each and every level, I think the depth of questioning will be slightly higher. That's what I have seen, at least when compared with other kind of organizations which are product driven. So it would be more from the real world problems, right? So I think Meesho interview process will put you in the shoes of a product manager and will ask you how you will be able to solve that problem, and that problem will be a real world problem, right? I cannot go into the questions, but it would be more realistic rather than having something in the more bookish ways. So if you are working on certain very niche technical product areas, your technical expertise will be an added advantage. But I think there are certain kind of a product roles where you don't need them into that high level of detailed nuances. So there I think there is a very clear scope for all different kind of peoples to work upon. There would be certain advantages in the technical product managers where technical expertise would be required. I think some of the very clear product management roles or the best articles that would help any individual to get into a good PM role is like you have like analytics for PM 101. That's one of the very good articles that I have gone through. I would suggest a couple of books to start with. One is about like the inspired, this would help you in identifying how to create the products what customers love. This was written by Marty Kagan, and there is one more book which is more popular, which is the Hooked, how to build the habit forming products by Neeriyal, right? So I think these two books to start with will give a perspective of creating the very good products that are core or close to the users, right? So yeah, I would suggest going through them before we start any kind of a process of product management. Stick to the core qualities of a product manager. Understand your users uh, very well, right? And think their problems are your problems. And yeah, I think the execution stakeholder management will fall in place once you have your user interest coming into the picture. When we are giving for an interview point of view, I think if these are the tips that you're trying to understand from the interview point of view, uh, I would suggest to be very open about asking multiple questions to your interviewer before going into a very detailed discussions on what answers you need to provide in. Take your time, sit back, relax, and obviously pausing sometimes is not a problem, because I see this as one of the challenge in any kind of a product manager interviews. So the candidates will rush over to give the answers. It's okay, you can take time, you can think through the problem, because these are the very tough problems to solve in. Just hold your nose and probably get the better answers out.